It's crazy seeing the hair in person, homie.
Oh shit,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
I was gonna. Amanda has technical issues. I sat around for 5 minutes waiting to jump scare her. I had a whole wig ready. I was gonna like gaslight her, be like, I didn't get my hair cut. Like I just dyed it. Like
Yeah,
I'm doing a Johnny Ramone thing. Like, you
yeah,
know.
definitely. What's Dennis and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he dyes his hair
Yes.
black,
Yeah. Or even I can think of Frank wearing that wig, looking like
right?
Edna from The Incredibles. Anyways, how you doing, man? How you doing? Where are you? Where are you? Nashville?
East Liverpool, Ohio.
Okay.
I do not expect you to know where that is at
Mm.
all. It's tiny, but it's famous for pottery. Where the pottery used to be the pottery capital, my friend.
Are you a big pottery head?
No, but my
Okay.
wife, whose parents' house we live in, we had to move here unfortunately because her mother passed away of COVID. Um, but she was a huge collector of this particular brand of pottery, and we had like a whole shed full of pottery, and we had like old people come by and like pay cash and then leave and go to the ATM to get more cash to pay for more pottery. Like, yeah, there's
You know,
conventions and shit.
the only thing I know about pottery, my mom got like a pottery wheel when I like at some point when I
Yeah.
was a teenager, and she get really into it. My mom passed away like 11, 12 years ago. But
Oh,
the only thing I have really that I've always had as an adult, like as an adult in every house, is these 3 bowls she made
okay.
me, like doing that shit. So you're telling me that about your wife, so I'm like, fuck, you make me
Oh,
cry already.
oh,
Fuck, 5 minutes.
the powers. I mean, it's definitely a cool art form, right? You can transform something that is a everyday use thing. I feel like when I got my wife like a necklace for the first time, I kind of understood about getting people things that when they see them, they think of you, right?
Hmm.
Essentially totems of your. So I get that as pottery is kind of like a cool
It's like a
token of
special,
that.
one of a kind, unique thing.
Yeah, yeah, and it can last a long time, right? Right, yeah. Yeah,
I
I
think
love
it's probably
that,
also
man.
like a tangible made with hands thing, you know, like it's something
The-
physically made for you.
Even right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly, sometimes in the way that music isn't, like you can write a song for someone, but that's not something they can like hold, right, and take
Yeah.
with them. Yeah, it's such a cool thing.
Speaking of pottery transitioning to music, well done. Uh, Gibran, right? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep,
Gibran? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely cool.
You have a very interesting storied past in our scene, you know, a lot of adjacency and friendships and crossing band paths with people we've had on the show and friends of ours too. Like, start me from the beginning. What's your
Oh
story?
God. Ah man,
Who
yeah,
are you?
that is a hard one. To start at the very end, I just turned 40 this year. And it is a big kind of looking back at like you're saying, I feel like I've been, on a lot of windowsills of things happening and cheered a lot of friends on to see them succeed and I'm always trying to just swim in the wake of the people that I've always admired, ever since I was a teenager and to get to be any small part of that just is other than teaching my jam. Um
I I can't remember who exactly said it recently, but oh, it was a place for owls. A place for owls were like the most
okay.
important thing you can do in this scene is like be a good hang. And it's like it's the same kind of thing where it's like I got to play in bands with guys that are got to be really successful and other, you know, and it's kind of like I didn't belong there, but it's like I kind of made my way in, and then you rise up there, and it's like they are doing this, and you're kind of like, well, shit, I'm still grinding here, like I'm doing the best work I've done.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of gives you a lot of interesting perspectives. I feel like in some ways I'm like incapable of having light conversations about music in that perspective, right? Because there's, it's like, oh well, I feel like I know about this. I have a varied opinion on that. And no, it's definitely an interesting gambit and really like just a testament to you really have to pursue the art of it. We're kind of in that kind of music scene, you know, like only a few of us uh make a living wage off of this, but the numbers don't dwindle because of that, right? There's still just as many of us doing it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's interesting. Like there's a good, obviously the Hot Mulligans and stuff like that, but we
Yeah.
see other bands in our scene, like, Kerosene Heights, bands like
Yeah.
that we'll get to, where it's like they're touring all year, but it's like they're still grinding these. Whereas if this was 2005 and Fuse TV still existed, like these motherfuckers would be millionaires, you know?
Yeah, that is such an interesting dichotomy. I remember, I was, I'm 40, so I'm like the millennial elder emo,
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say, yeah. So
pinpoint
you
target.
graduated what, 2004?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Like every cliche imaginable, I thought I was doing authentically,
sick.
and I just remember, when Under Oath had their revival, I was kind of shocked to see the amount of capital they have been able to essentially accrue from being. I mean they were the biggest band, but it's also hard to. I mean, it is just the scale of it. The guys in Under Oath, they own nice businesses. I'm happy for the kind of level that they're accruing. It just makes me wonder if you're a band like Muse, if you're a band like Gojira, if you're not, I mean, even a newer one like Knock Loose, just the kind of, money you're able to work with. I kind of thought it was more of a record labels take 90% and, all of us are struggling. And that might be the case. It might be just how you invest, what you do with the time you have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also like a perspective thing on your experience. If there is people that get very successful. There was, especially, but for every one of them, there's, nine other bands that do get fucked by them, is the thing.
Oh God.
You got to
Yeah.
be one of those bands.
I remember, now all this Good Charlotte stuff and finding out about their connection to Live Nation and whatnot. I obviously don't pay as much attention to that as I should, but Good Charlotte was just a pop punk band, in high school to me. I definitely remember them dating celebrities. I just didn't realize they were I mean, they probably own many towns with the amount of, money they must have. I know they have like a whole headquarters somewhere that's
Yeah.
massive and huge and stuff, right? I didn't know that until this whole thing
Yeah,
about them
you're
coming
like, I
out.
didn't realize that until they played like Grim Reaper on everyone that writes about music.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he had to host the Ink Master show. I didn't realize
No,
he didn't. He didn't need that money.
no,
He didn't even need the money. He just wanted
they're
to.
like, yeah, no, they were cutthroat, gnarly hustlers. Like I got invited, Atlantic invited me to this event they did here, like, yeah, well before this came out.
Wow.
This is like a year
Yeah,
and a
sure,
half ago.
sure.
But and they pulled up in like matching BMW 7 Series, like, like not like
Okay.
the $100,000 BMW, like just like
Okay.
black, murdered out car, like
Yeah.
clean, like
Yeah.
expensive ass clothes. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they were the lifestyles of the rich and the famous.
Yeah. Turns out if your dad's not there, so, I, we were putting him on recently, and I just had this epiphany. Like all their songs are about their dad. Like every
Yeah.
single song is just like my dad this, my dad that. It's it's such a funny cliche, man. Good
No,
Charlotte.
yeah, they
God.
wrote that hard. They wrote that. I mean, I remember on their first record they had the like "Thank You Mom" song even.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like they're gonna be an easy band to let go. like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we're good, right? Like they're kind of doing like they're doing shit that I think like only like hip hop and country can do. Like you can't do like a
yeah.
thank you. Only that can only be like a Tupac song or a Blake fucking Shelton.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. The and I don't know if this is too, unk of me to go down, but I feel like there is this pop punk split where there are some pop punk artists, like the artists that like Travis Barker will work with, that are kind of unrecognizable to me as far as what that is, like the whole MGK of it all, basically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is just pop music with
Oh,
some guitars added on it, kind of thing. It's It's like when you can't make it in the NBA, so you go play overseas, kind of thing. Like I feel like there's a lot of
Okay.
people in pop punk specifically that's what it is. They're like they couldn't cut it in country or pop, and this is like the ceiling is a lot lower for like
Right.
like there's only one Avril, and Avril wasn't marketed as our she was marketed like Britney was, just with a different
Yes.
flip. She wasn't
Yes.
Warped Tour or nothing like that.
Yes. And I think we've always kind of been wary of those kind of things, and it is kind of like it's such like an obvious thing. And kind of what you're saying, I guess in the end they have one goal, and the way upon which they reach that goal is kind of irrelevant, right? I guess as far as the music they make, I guess, right?
What was the first record you got, and when was it that kind of put you down this rabbit hole?
Man, I think because like I know in like middle school, Everclear, which was still a very popular band, was kind of that very first edging into like different styles of alternative. There had some
I
pop punk, they
I
had
would
some
have been in
pop,
the
they
fifth
had
grade. It was it the soundtrack, the American whatever
oh
Volume
my
One.
oh my
That's what it
gosh,
was,
Sounds
right?
from American Movie,
Yeah,
yeah.
with
Oh my
Unemployed Boyfriend
gosh.
on there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wow.
Heat.
Whoa. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Everclear
Yeah.
is one of the coolest fucking bands in the world to me. I
Yeah,
like they got like 10 songs that'll could Survivor Series matchup like against any other band's 10 songs, I swear.
he's the only artist that I've ever like gotten their autograph. Like I waited
Sick.
to like meet him and have something says, Art Alazakis. Yeah, I think that was because at first it was just whatever I could, get in touch with. Like you say, we just have the radio, but really it wasn't until high school and like kind of being around people who would tell me bands to get into that like one of the the first two, honestly, from my friend Brett in my freshman year in high school. He turned me on to the Starting Line and Newfound Glory. Where he
Sick.
heard of them, I didn't know, but he was like, you got to listen to these bands. And I swear hearing The Best of Me was like I gained consciousness, like hearing that song for the first time, like
I think there could be I have two things. Two things. One funny story. I went to high school for one semester in San Diego. Other than
okay,
that, I went to
wow,
school in Canada. But when I was in San
oh
Diego,
cool,
once a week they would like bring out speakers, like in the common area and like play music. And like the school was like racially divided, like pretty much like 30-30-30.
okay,
Like
yeah, everybody, yeah,
Hispanic, black, white.
god,
Like
the
everyone's
early
like like
2000s.
yeah. And they'd play hip hop all the time, and everyone but
Uh-huh.
then they played My Friends Over You and the
Okay.
Sweater Song. And it was like a meme. Like the white people at the school were just like going bananas over it. Just like Newfound Glory, like they're
Yeah.
getting hyped. It was like, I'm like, this is the wildest thing. And cause like I grew up in Canada where it's like, it's not like that there, And I was like, this is fast. This is like a new world to me.
Yeah, it is kind of like a radio signal, and then the echoes kind of go out. I feel like growing up in Florida, it was that way. There are a lot of like indelible things to like punk rock and the emo scene that I feel like I started with an echo of it and then had to like find my way purposefully to the source,
Yeah.
Still am always trying to orient myself and you
No,
know.
I was gonna say, yeah, you keep saying you're how old I'm only 3 years younger, and
Okay.
so right there, yeah, you would have been a senior, I would have been a freshman, like when I said
Yeah, yeah.
2004.
Well, especially because I love playing with bands that are still have guys in their 20s and stuff. It's hard to tell anymore. I always feel so connected, but I don't want to feel, like like I'm pushing myself into a territory that I might be too old for or something.
No, I same thing. I'm like I forget how old I am. I have no idea most of the time unless people ask.
Yeah, right, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I need you mentioned Best of Me. What is your Mount Rushmore of 2000s pop punk songs?
Oh,
Like if we could replace the national anthem, these are the four candidates.
okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I have to stick with The Best of Me, probably like just like template for like some of the catchiest songs. Um, and since I mentioned Newfound Glory, I'm definitely gonna have to do have I waited too long?
Sick.
Have I? God, I forget. I forget. I know it's like such. Is it Such Gold? No, that's not the name of it. Is that where Such Gold gets their name from? From a Newfound
Yes.
Glory song?
There's like
Yeah.
three Newfound Glory related named bands.
And they were just a super cool pop punk band. I didn't realize they were making easy core music. It was awesome. Okay. I want to add. I just know why it always comes out and just makes me so MTV. But Let It Go by Midtown off of Saves the World, Lose the Girl. Hold on, let go. Almost everything shows. Yeah, that was like I love that song. Like the bass, Gabe Saporta, just like I always dug his vibe. That whole album I bought on like a whim, like when you could just look at albums at like Specs Music and just be like, this looks cool.
This looks cool. This looks neat enough. It's on the same
Right?
label as those other bands I like,
Yes,
maybe.
yeah, right. Yeah, I was like anything drive through, right?
Mm.
So yeah, honestly, best pick for that. Okay, if I get one more, oh my gosh, I've really pinned myself into a wall. And I want to stick like early because I make all kinds of like playlists because sometimes I really feel like I always think it's funny how Disney pop took off, and Disney pop is just like pop punk songs that we listened to in high school, just like redone. Like the Jonas Brothers was basically a pop punk band, but
Yeah.
okay, but I'll ramble. The last one I keep wanting to go to it is God damn it, why am I now blanking on their name? It's Shy Garn.
Finch.
Finch. Yeah, what
What
it
it
is
is
to
to burn.
burn.
Wow. Yeah.
Fuck it. Sorry, I don't know why that is in there, but yeah, that shit. I know that's a little more. That's a
Incredible.
little more hard. That's a little more heavy.
It
It's a
was
little more
still,
screamo.
yeah, yeah. All the pop punk kids still listen. Yeah, that was their heavy band.
Oh man, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I-
Sorry.
I-
Yeah, that was such a fucking set of songs.
no. I would go. Sugar, we're going down. Best
Oh
of
yeah.
me. Feeling this.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I
Dirty little
feel like
secret.
I
Or
have to say a My Chemical Romance song, but I just feel bad I didn't throw it in there. But yeah.
fuck. Swing, swing.
Oh, All American Rejects.
Swing. I would put swing in there.
That is a great. Oh, that is a great one. Swing, man.
A
Swing,
little more
swing. I
power
can.
pop, but they blend in. They're in.
Oh yeah. Oh,
If
totally.
Finch is in, they're in.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Finch is in, then All American Rejects are in. I have a long love of that band, and especially that first album that has that and Paper Hearts and everything. And then I always like have little playlists I make where I put like my hits, my favorite. I have like a
Yeah.
pretty extensive All American Rejects playlist now.
No, it's when I got to the coolest part of this show has been getting to like be like pals with Gabe Saporta. Like legitimately, because I was the same way. I was like Midtown was my fucking band. Like even
Oh my goodness.
when he first hit me up, I was like, yo, I loved Midtown. Like Cobra, I was a little too old for. Like at the time, like I can
Sure,
appreciate Cobra
right,
now,
yeah,
but like
right. Although
Midtown was my shit.
didn't realize Cobra Starship really was like pretty high there mainstream. I bet you Gabe Sport he probably does very well for himself. I'm just so happy to see especially with Warped Tour coming back. It's pretty nice to see a lot of these people in good places in their lives.
Yeah.
Um, you know.
Yeah, like even the My Chemicals and the Fall Out Boys and these guys where it's like, okay, they're comfortable and they've seemed to age fairly gracefully.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're starting to reach that age that I feel like where we used to look at hair metal bands,
Yeah.
their reunion tours and stuff like that, and I'm sure it was some level of cringing to see what kind of, although I think it's I think it's because those guys never got over their misogyny in a way that I feel like
Yeah,
our
yeah, it
scene
doesn't
was
really
able
hold. It
to.
doesn't hold up as well. Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
mean, it's equally bad lyrically, but most of the bands in our world have at least grown up.
exactly. Yeah, we've done a lot of personal work that I'm proud of to be a part of, and hope it continues for a lot of people in the same. I'm really proud of that in our scene.
So, what is the what is the give and take? Like when did this start? What's
Yeah, right.
what are you up to? What are you up to?
Yeah, no. So I've always played in bands, and then I've always written songs. When I couldn't, when I didn't have a project I was in, I wrote on my own. And then one day I had like other names like All of Me and Oceana and stuff. If you go on my Bandcamp, I literally it's like my own record. I keep everything that I've ever like done on there. But the give and take has always been like my repository for what I write when the time suits me. And um it had been probably like a decade or so since I had done anything, because I was been playing drums in expert timing, and expert timing was is probably like the most fulfilling project I've been in. It just worked so well that though I riffed, I just never felt compelled to like have to write and do stuff on my own. And my album that I released about 5 years ago called The Great Pause only happened because COVID happened and we all had to stop touring. Basically, everybody
Hmm.
had to go back home. So I did what I do. I just got back in and I recorded like 5 songs in my apartment, and then since COVID, expert timing, we did like 1 or 2 tours. I had to move to Ohio. Jeff and Katrina moved to New York. So we touring wasn't something that we could do on the regular as much anymore. So I reoriented again to playing and recording, and in this last year I kind of told myself 39 into 40, I wanna I wanna give everything the best that I could, essentially. Like if
Hmm.
this is, whatever comes of this, wherever I land, if I just do another release and enjoy teaching and don't tour as much, or if I wind up touring a whole bunch more, cool. I just want to know that at this point I gave everything that I could. So I'm recording some full band songs. I've done about like 6 or 7 shows this summer. I'm booking again. I'm making reels, like,
I'm making
yeah,
reels. Yeah,
yeah,
with
making
you on that
reels,
one.
yeah, yeah.
What's the biggest difference between playing behind the kit and being like up there alone?
Man, I can't believe I was ever nervous to play drums. Yeah, playing by yourself is so different. When I'm behind the kit, I was always scared behind the kit that if you mess up, everyone will know. But what I didn't like really count for is Jeff and Katrina are the ones that have to do most of the crowd interaction. They have to, introduce the song, lyric writing, hearing yourself back. I get why I'm always like, please listen to expert timing, because it's just the drums I have to represent. It's way different when it's like listen to me singing about something I really care about, and it's such a different feeling. It is really empowering. Kind of what one of the things you said about being a good hang, I feel
Hmm.
really thankful that throughout the years, I've kind of had to always learn that. Essentially, you have to learn how to be a people person and interact with people, and find ways to navigate situations that you're able to still be represent yourself, but also in a way that doesn't, misrepresent other people's interpretations of you, which is always a bouncy ball of communication. So
Hmm.
I think I mentioned I'm a teacher, and I feel like a lot of joy and ease I have in teaching comes directly from playing shows, being around people, communicating a lot, and playing shows now. I feel like I've kind of merged the two. I really love being on stage and just like jiving with the audience and kind of just letting loose a little bit, being a little
Yeah.
silly.
No,
It's fun. I've been really
it's
enjoying it.
that's my favorite. What do you teach?
I teach 7th grade, and
Sheesh.
yeah, yeah, and I'm an intervention specialist, so I do all subjects. I'm really what I told a parent today. I feel like I'm a student's team member.
Okay.
I'm there to coach them. I'm there to make sure that they're able to reach their best ability. And it's a great flexible position in teaching. I really get to uh kind of do a lot of little things and have a lot of freedom and flexibility in it. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at some point, uh, is it Dry Spell? Were you in Dry Spell? That's a band that Steven and Justin were in.
Yeah, that was Steven and Justin. Like, yeah, we were all
Steven and
living
Justin from Steven from Dikembe and
Dikembe,
Jay
Justin from
Franklin of Kerosene Heights for those
yeah,
listening.
yes, yeah, right. Yeah, I love to see, all everybody's projects continue to spurn and go. Justin and I have been in bands off and on ever since we were teenagers. Basically, we grew up in Lakeland together, went to Tallahassee together at Florida State, and then also moved to Gainesville, and then wound up in Orlando. And yeah, Justin has always kind of been my friend that I can connect with, and when I moved to Orlando, I didn't know anybody except for him. So yeah, I think that was he was playing with Steven and Dikembe at the time, and then Jason Bittner from the band Crucial Dudes
Mhm.
was the singer of that. It was a really cool project, and and then he and I did a project and actually did a release that was pretty cool called Snowbirds. Um and that was kind of how I kind of connected with Steven and Dikembe, and then Tanner and all the guys and You Blew It, and it's actually living with some of their friends that I met, Jeff and Katrina, at a party at one of the houses. That's how I met. It's
Okay.
good timing, yeah.
Being a good hang.
My best, yeah, doing my best.
Exactly. Yeah, right there.
I don't think I'm a great hang, but I definitely try to be a good hang.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, right,
I've only
right.
done a few solo shows in my life, like playing music, and it's so nerve wracking not being able to like look over and have other people that can fuck up with
Oh,
you, kind of thing. Like you're on an island.
you really are. You really are. And that like beginning jitters. Honestly, that's why I'm trying to book more. I love you probably know this, like that feeling when it's finally not new anymore. You don't
Mhm.
realize it's happened, but it is such like a great feeling when it's finally just like old hat to you and it's just something you've done regularly and you feel like you're in your element.
Yeah,
Like that's
you're not overthinking it. It becomes routine.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, I'm so happy to see a lot of the bands that are kind of doing it right now. I call it the post-COVID bubble, are a lot of bands that were able to still push through. And I feel like that's why people are loving shows, because you're like really getting some solid bands. Like people are like it is really a like I know it just comes in these cycles and these revivals where you're just like constantly blown away at the new but continuing level of musicianship that people are able to display and be a part of. And I'm just that's why I worry about this term because I love We Are Amphibians. I love Thoughts on Bowling. I love Max Seal. Of course, yeah, God, to see Kerosene Heights, just really just reaching their stride and really connecting with people. It's just like that is a large part of why I'm still doing it. It's just like, maybe my music isn't too old. Maybe my music is something that still can connect with people. You never know. You have to keep trying and keep doing it, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. Kerosene Heights a great example of that, like
Yeah.
older chronologically than a lot, personally than a lot of bands, but like that's the best band in our scene, personally.
Well, I mean, you're seeing four people that really work solidly together, and honestly, I didn't even recognize it until I saw them live again recently, and was just like, man, the this my Jeff and Expert Timing had this great um uh kind of thing about uh if you can see a band that has had the same people in it for a long time, you should always like just take that in.
Yeah,
Essentially, there's just something about when people reach that level of and synchronicity that makes such a great show. Yeah.
absolutely. Who
Yeah.
is as some you've played with a bunch of these guys, who do you think when you first saw them play, you were like, that's the most special, even maybe just
Uh,
musician directly, technically, just like, you're like, okay, that's the one of the bunch that's going to do something in that Jesus.
dude, God, man, the great, God, there's so many. Honestly, okay. the one that always just like blows my mind that I love is we did a weekend tour with a band called Diva Sweetly.
Hmm.
They were like they did a small release on a counterintuitive records. Um, Carly Hartzman from Wednesday was the lead singer in that band. Daniel, the drummer from Prince and Hyena, he was like the player and singer of that band.
Sick.
Paige, from they're also both from Pictures of Vernon. Were also in them. Brody Rogers, this is another. He's a bass player. He right now he does like these incredible duck woodworking stuff. But I was blown away by that band, and then just to see what each one of those individuals have done since it's just been like God, I just can't believe I got to like hang out and like, sleep next to them for like a couple days. It was so
Sick.
cool. Yeah, it was just
A-
so great.
As a fellow Unk, what do you think about the notion that the scene today is in a better place than it was musically and culturally than any other emo wave?
Oh man, I support that wholeheartedly. I feel like one of the things that we got like a bad rap for, and when they call things cancel culture, is that we have the courage to do honestly what the queer community already has been doing, which is taking a deep look into the people that we represent and surround ourselves with, and not only holding them, but holding ourselves accountable to our own, ideals. I think it's great that we have made a stand. I think really culturally in a way that says who you are as a person matters, and the art that you make and the platform that you have. And if you abuse that in any kind of way, then you do not deserve that place. And that was really hard, right? There were some figures and people that meant a lot to us that we had to collectively let go of. But I think we are the better for it. And the people who have stayed and have done the work are just it just levels there are levels of maturity I did not realize I didn't know until people started to call me out on my own personal things to work on, and it's because I was in the punk community. A lot of people just let people be assholes. They're like,
Hmm.
oh, they're just an asshole, that's just who they are. I'm glad I had friends that cared enough about me to say you can be better than that, you know.
That's fucking really sweet. I appreciate that. I that's a very relatable sentiment kind of thing, you know.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen the show I Think You Should Leave? There's a sketch where it's like, I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore. Like very,
yeah.
very relatable, you know? Like it's like, yeah, like
Uh-huh.
you can be better. And same thing, like cancel culture. It's like it's more like accountability culture. It's just, just
Yeah,
like that's no one's no one's canceled. Everyone can still release stuff if they want, you know? Like I'm sure the
yeah,
R. Kelly team is still putting out stuff. Like I don't know,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and Trump's America. No one's canceled anymore. There's nothing you can
Exactly.
do anymore. But
No. You've lived in Florida and Ohio. Where else?
just those two places. I thought I'd live in Florida my whole life. I was just kind of like Florida. I wasn't born in Florida, but I moved there when I was 3, and the music scene had meant so much to me. That I was, I have a giant Florida, alligator tattoo, like Florida man, till death.
Sick.
But honestly, getting the chance to kind of move to the Midwest is the best opportunity, an elder emo like me could possibly have.
Yeah, as I'm recovering from a weekend in Michigan, I get it. I was
Oh
like,
my
fuck,
gosh.
I like
all
this.
all these festivals, yeah, in Michigan and North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I'm just like, I'm throwing this out there, guys. I would love to play on any of these festivals. Okay,
Like I'm
I am
available.
not far.
Where in Ohio is that?
So I live, yeah, please. everyone. I live right where West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania meet. I am 100% dead in Appalachia. We're surrounded by mountains, and it's actually quite beautiful, but it is the middle of nowhere.
I didn't realize those states touched. I didn't go to school in this country.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
What
And this,
state produces better bands, Ohio or Florida?
I mean, golly, man, you really put me in a
It's a tough
in a
spot.
hard space. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Florida till life. I probably can reference more Florida bands than I can Ohio bands, but I also know Ohio is both like great for emo and metalcore, but so is Florida. God damn. I'm gonna have to go with Florida. You know, I'm only 3 years in Ohio. I got 30 years in Florida, you know.
Okay. Okay. That works out.
Shout out to Dikembe. Shout out to Woolbright. Shout out to Glazed. Shout out to Jer. Yeah,
Oh,
Florida is
Jer is great.
yeah, yeah. Jer
Yeah.
is people, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna get to see Jer and Dikembe for the first time. We're at Fest in Gainesville.
Woo! Yeah, yeah. Fest, man.
I'm like,
Heck yeah.
and they're doing, yeah, I think Dikembe is doing the Chicago Bulls EP.
Yeah, so be prepared to lift a lot of people up into the air, my friend, because that is
Oh,
what happens
I'll be
every
getting
time.
lifted. I will be getting chucked up in the air. What's your favorite band from that era, that 2010s, like fourth wave emo revival era?
Oh man, I mean, I'm just gonna have to go with like my biggest inspiration. I always joke and say my very best friend in the world because I was able to talk to him once, but Evan Weiss and Into It Over It was me, yeah, right, like 2011 in my apartment going like, oh, this guy is doing the thing that I think that I'm doing, and he is so successful at it. Gabron, you got to keep doing it. And any chance that I've gotten to like shake his hand and just let him know how much his music means to me, I always take it. Yeah, I have to go with Into It Over It, man. Yeah, Evan Weiss and all
Sick.
of his projects. It's just
One of
yeah.
the coolest guests we've ever had on. I think personally, and one that for our scene especially, that was like people were like, "Damn, good pull!" Like, whoa,
Oh
and
yeah, well,
absolutely
and
cool as shit. And uh, even moving on to this producer side is about to produce like a couple really big records next year, and it's like, wow, okay,
yeah, he has worked individually for every amount of success he has. That man is so busy, and it just and it really and not to say that he's more busy than other people. I really see that people who do what they do in these scenes, they work. It's a lot of work. And I'm realizing it now as a solo person, sending my own emails and contacting people. Yeah, you put a lot of work and you earn it all back. Hopefully you earn it all back, but you work for it is all I'm trying to say.
yeah,
He
it's
works.
a labor of love. I think
Yeah. Hmm.
I think also, we talk about like that accountability thing to bring it, to tie that in. Like, I think because there was this like level of success that was attainable in that like third wave mall emo pop punk era, that there
Yes.
became bad actors in there. Like I was saying, like, oh, that's going to play overseas, but overseas there was more money. It was the
Yes.
live golf era of emo. Uh, but there, that, and whereas now that doesn't happen because it's a labor of love. Like nobody's making good Charlotte money anymore.
Yeah. Right. Right. That is kind of that post COVID right thing that really kind of forced right if because if you had an opportunity to try and make life a little easier, a lot of people did it. And so for those of us who are out there pushing with all the prices going on, like our punk community right now is in one of its like most important stages right now. And I honestly I try to patron as much as possible because I recognize like how much we are all depending on each other to support each other in that way. We got to
I
show up. Yeah.
I agree. I love this. I love this shit. I love these. I think the bands now, like these, there's so many of them that are like, this is the best it's ever been. It's just there's no like mainstream thing focusing on it. It's like we're like the only publication like that's talking about these bands, but it's like there's these, they're so fucking good, and there's so many of them, and just we had some very special ones that broke through, the Mike Chems and the Fallout Boys and stuff. But
Sure.
like, there was also like a lot of it that's kind of like, in hindsight, if you take the emotion out of it, it's a little like give, like you said, it's give or take.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I really want to not like I want to say kudos to you guys. Kudos to all the journalists that I have known throughout this time because especially as someone who is a little more of an introvert, like the people who document what's going on is like I know I can say personally my pinhole. Everyone who like Plank fan right now, the people who are making all like the videos, who are recording all the local shows, people like you who are, because when you do these interviews, you make a web where the scene feels connected, and the more connected you are, the kind of like the echoes like reverberate larger. It's like, yeah, of course these band. It's like a snowball effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like what you guys do is you bring these bands together, so now they're touring together, which is only creating the snowball effect larger, and centralizing that for people to find. And I think we're all kind of searching for emo kids anonymous, absolute punk. Remember absolutepunk.net? Like,
Yeah.
obviously so sad to lose. Yeah. Brooklyn vegan. So sad to lose. I'm not hoping in consequences of sound. That's not really fault, but just all these publications, they just mean so much.
Fuck,
And,
that means a
and we,
lot. And
we'd be in the dark. We'd be in the dark without you. We really would.
I, 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 I agreed to an extent, like, where it's like, not to toot our horn, but like, not that like they'll get like the bands go get bigger after they come on, but in the sense of like they do become linked in. They kind of there's like a commonality here where
Yes.
like I feel like we're less the like MTV, we're more like the club or something. You know what I mean? Like we're like the nightclub or something. It's like, okay, like people have come on and then they know us and they're coming in and, and then other like, especially with a lot of the like smaller bands I've seen where it's like, okay, now they, like you said, like they work together, like you guys can do this, like there seem to be friends. I when I go to shows here, it's usually bands like and multiple bands that have been on, like
Yes.
I went to our friends who came on Subtitles were in town,
Okay.
and they were down the street in Chatsworth. It's like 5-6 miles from me at this producer Jojo Santinia's house.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I show up at the house, and I walk in, and it's like I'm so excited to meet these guys that I've interviewed, And I walk in, and on the couch is a totally different band that we interviewed, Melee Fairy, who were on the show like a year ago, like, and I haven't heard in forever. We just look at each other, and I'm like, what the, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I'm like, everyone
Yeah.
in this room I've gotten to like interview, and it's even going to like in Michigan, and it's like, like I had the Mitch from Thoughts on Bowling and Mitch from Saturdays at Your Place shave my head, and it's
I
like,
love it. Right.
it's like it's fun, and it's like
Why is
I
that not
know
on
all
the
I get to
drive-through
know everyone,
records DVD? Right.
right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
right. I'm hoping we can like keep make where there's like a common space for that, and um ideally in the future I would like Emo Kids to be beyond like a just a podcast, and have like a like maybe writing
Hmm.
on there, or like short doc documentary kind of like YouTube's like
Oh,
Channel 5,
oh
like
yeah.
Vice style
Oh,
type shit. Like
oh
I'd like to
yes.
do stuff like that where it's just like it's not just emo Joe Rogan, it's also, you know, it's a
News.
home for
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
Madison from Ogbert, they announced a tour today. A lot of tours announced today. Ogbert's coming out here with like equipment,
Yes.
and worst party ever. And like that
Yes.
feel,
Yes. Right. Yes.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I was like, I'm getting to get to meet my friend Madison, you know, who I know from this. And it's like, Madison Rowe getting the fucking robot, you know, like Madison's like Augur the Nerd, like that's in our world, it's a legendary band. It's like, oh,
Yes.
we're pals. Like you came on my show and we talked forever. Like that's wild to me. And I'm like, I'll see you then. And they're like, are we gonna do the first ever Emo Kids acoustic session? I'm like, shit, I don't know, why not?
Oh,
Fuck it, why not?
epic.
Why not?
Epic. Oh my gosh. Gosh, man, remember like the pink count sessions and stuff? Yes,
Yeah,
I miss that kind of stuff. Oh, that's great. And I was gonna say what you guys do is you humanize a lot of bands, and in a way that I think that's like if I took a class on internet, that's what they would tell you to do. Like you need to show yourself and people want to
yeah,
connect with you and stuff. And you guys kind of do that in a way that yeah, I wasn't necessarily following Dear Cincinnati, right? I wasn't necessarily following some of these bands, but I saw some cool thing that they did on a in on and I really love that you guys do really well with the short form content. I feel like that's such a way that people are getting things. It's the way that I got clued into what you guys were doing. And I
cool.
and I can name many bands that I discovered because I saw you guys talk about them on Emo Kids Anonymous first. So
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
nicest shit anyone has ever said. That's so
Oh,
cool.
it's just the truth.
No,
It's the truth.
I agree though, because if you're in there's not a lot of places that are doing interviews, and like even a lot of times it feels less like it's more just like a conversation on here. But if you release, ideally a band is only putting out like 40 minutes of music every 2 years or so, you know, and that's like you got
Good way to
20
put it.
minutes a year to tell people what you're all about,
Yeah.
and maybe you
Mm-hmm.
can tweet a little and make some videos, but like they can see you interact on it, like, you know, like you know, I talk to people like in the industry, and I kind of, I'm like, you know, we've given all these bands, like we've done job interviews with them all. Like I can tell you who like the really good, serious, like promising ones are because of, you know, this or that. Like the kids that I can tell, like you said, Dear Cincinnati and Thoughts on Bowling, like those bands are going to be very, very big because they will make themselves be big because those
Yeah.
kids work
Yeah.
fucking hard.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of that work might go unsung if it's
Hmm.
not, kind of, shared by other people, right? Right?
Yeah. And
Right?
there's,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's you know, they work hard, but like, you know, like you said earlier about Evan, you know, not that they work harder than anybody else. Everybody else is working hard. Just sometimes
Yeah,
you catch the right eyes and
you do.
stuff like that, you know?
You do. You do. You do.
What
And
is your oh sorry, what were you gonna say?
nothing. Please
Oh,
ask, please. Sorry.
what is your personal top 3 quote unquote emo albums? It's a wide
Okay.
net.
Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. So, the ones that like if I was on a desert island and I know I would need to have to listen to, um one of this is just personal, so I'm not trying to rank as far as what might be cool.
Yeah. These are yeah,
But
Desert Island, I guess yeah, your 3 Desert Island discs.
yeah, yeah.
It's an emo island.
First one that comes to mind, because and honestly, the ones that I've gone out to really have on vinyl, is "The Room's Too Cold" by the Early November.
Oh.
That is,
I
I
I
just
I take back what the second coolest thing about this show is getting to be friends with the Early November.
right,
They came up
EastEnders.
to us at
Oh my
Warped Tour.
gosh,
So they were
yeah.
like, oh, like so excited. It's like they came up to us, and I'm like, Jeff, Ace. Like Ace told me, he's like, yo, after our episode, Chris Caraba hit me up and told me we handled that drive-through stuff well. And I was like, Chris Caraba hit you up about an
Right.
Emo Kids Anonymous clip? Like, okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Sick. Thank you, Ace Enders. Like,
Oh, right, right?
Like, what the
Right?
fuck?
All of his projects, right? Honestly, yeah, he could
Right?
do its own thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. What, and also, just not to go to everything, but also releases great albums today. Same with the Starting Line, like such great new albums they really put
Uh-huh.
out. Those
They
guys
age
fucking
well.
kick.
They're bands
Yeah,
that age well, and they
yeah,
seem to be good people and good artists.
yeah, yeah. Um, I guess second one definitely has to be Songs to Write Home About, the Get Up Kids. I don't know if I get it wrong, something or Songs to Write Home About. That's just like that. Talk about Justin, me and Justin at my sister's wedding, and our other friend Kyle got super drunk and just started singing from track one that album, and this like did not stop until we got to like long goodbye.
Sick.
Like we sang every single song all the way through. Yeah, like definitely shout out to that one. And then one just came to mind. I had one, but I just forgot it. But I would love The Moon Is Down by Further Seems Forever, talking about Chris Carrabba and Dashboard
Ooh.
Confessional. That's like, yeah, I can. Moon Is Down is
This is an
solid.
old head conversation here.
Yeah, yeah, I had
Wow.
to
Further
go
Seems
real.
Forever. Sick.
I had to hit him with the FSF.
Wow. Hell yeah, you did. Sick. It's Dashboard is just so big that people kind of like it, that era of Further Seems Forever, it just kind of, it feels like it's like relegated to being like a did you know, like under,
Yeah.
like under a cup or something factoid.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, no, this happened. Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that record was a roll down your windows and yell every single song from the top of your lungs record. That's, we all have those that in time, space and
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Before I let you go, I have to know two things.
Okay.
Right now, if you were a record label, or like imagine there's like a fantasy draft of
Okay.
emo bands, like promising ones, kind like it's a draft. You're gonna have them for X amount of years. You're starting a label. It's a very predatory deal. You got them for like an 8-album deal here. Okay, like they're locked in for the next 15 years. Who are the 3 bands you're signing?
Holy shit. Okay. Okay. All right. You're putting me on a really delicate tightrope right now.
3 is, I kind of did one the other day with Will from Full Blown Meltdown, and we did it like draft style, and I was like, I don't want to pick again, because like I was like, I did 5, and I was like, I left you out, like
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like I'm picking like one ringer, one I'm glad I thought of, and then the last one. Okay, let me see. The first two, obviously first one, Kerosene Heights. I mean, and only because it's not fair. I have a little insider knowledge, knowing that those guys are only getting even better,
yeah,
even
yeah.
better. Their next record is gonna be really, really good. So bet on that. I also Elephant Jake. Elephant Jake.
Ooh, I see Elephant Jake from Alabama.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay.
Anything that they touch, I am instantly like zooted into right away. So yeah, yeah, definitely shouts out to Elephant Jake. And golly, man, that last because I don't want to, because I really just want to go with like when I just want to go with Carly Cosgrove, because when I listen to Carly Cosgrove, I hear myself. I'm like, this is what I would do. This is what I would do.
Yeah, you're like,
just
this is sick right here. This is what I'm trying to do.
3 records. Right, Lucas, right? I think is
Lucas,
not
yeah.
enough. I need you guys to be those bands that just drop like 2 albums a year. Drop remixes, acoustic versions. I want it all.
Get some
I want
features
it all.
on, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carly, Kerosene, Elephant Jake.
Yeah,
Solid little crew you put together there at the emo death row.
Yeah, right.
Last question. Where would people find you on the internet if obviously they've especially our older fans, I feel like are going to be like, oh, finally someone that's not 23.
I can write songs about stuff you know about. But yeah, you can find me at the Give and Take Band on Instagram, the Give and Take Band. You can also find me on Twitter at the Give and Bake. Yeah, so find me on Twitter at the Give and Bake. Those are my two mains. I will have a Blue Sky. Shout out to Denney at Knife Punch, who has been telling me to do this for a month now. I will have a Blue Sky, but yeah, the Give and Take Band on Instagram and the Give and Bake on X or whatever. Yeah.
Braun, I appreciate the hell out of you.
Oh, Robb, thank you so much for having me. Like, you have no idea how much I have looked forward to this and just getting to be, just another drop and just Giant Bucket is all I've ever wanted, man. So thank you so much for having me on.
That
it's
means
been
a
pleasure.
lot. I love it. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We're talking over each other.